Have you ever felt that tightness in your chest when someone looks disappointed in you? That sinking feeling, like you've done something wrong just for saying no or not being who they wanted you to be? I know that feeling all too well. For a long time, I believed my safety depended on keeping everyone else happy. But I learned something powerful. You can't live your truth and avoid disappointing people, not at the same time. In this video, we're going to talk about what it really means to get comfortable disappointing others, why it's so hard, what's happening psychologically when guilt takes over, and how to start releasing that need for approval in a healthy, self respecting way. As someone who studied emotional trauma and relational psychology, I've seen how much peace comes when we learn that disappointing others isn't failure, it's freedom. So do stay with me until the end because I'll share one mindset shift that changed how I see guilt forever, and it might do the same for you. The first on the list, the fear of disappointing others often starts in childhood. Let's start here. This discomfort with letting people down didn't come out of thin air. For many of us, especially those who grew up in emotionally unpredictable homes, love felt conditional. Maybe love came when we were quiet, or approval came when we achieved, or peace only existed when we didn't make waves. Over time, our nervous system learned that keeping others happy was how we stayed safe. So when someone sighs, frowns, or withdraws now, our body reacts like it's dangerous. Not because it is, but because it used to be. If this feels familiar, I want you to know this isn't a character flaw, it's conditioning. And conditioning can be unlearned. 2. Disappointing others is a natural side effect of living authentically. Here's something we rarely say out loud. If no one is ever disappointed in you, you're probably living someone else's life. When we start expressing real preferences, boundaries, or needs, it's normal for others to react, especially if they benefited from our silence. I'll give you an example. When I first started saying, I need time to think before I commit, I felt this wave of guilt as if I was being rude. But what I was really doing was creating space for self respect. And here's the psychology behind it. Every no you say to someone else is a yes to your peace. Our nervous system just needs time to catch up to that truth. So the goal isn't to stop disappointing people, it's to get comfortable doing what's right for you, even when it disappoints them. 3. Guilt isn't proof you're wrong. It's proof you're growing. You might want to write this down. Guilt is not a moral compass. It's a familiar feeling. This is a really good note to remember, especially for those of us who were taught that love equals self-sacrifice. Saying no or setting boundaries feels wrong, even when it's healthy. So when you feel guilty, remind yourself, I'm not doing something bad. I'm doing something different. That reframe helped me so much. Psychologically, guilt is your brain's way of alerting you that you're breaking an old rule, even if that rule was never fair to begin with. And the only way guilt loses its power is to practice not obeying it. 4. You're allowed to disappoint people who benefit from your silence. When someone expects you to be endlessly accommodating, endlessly available, or endlessly forgiving, your boundaries will always feel like betrayal to them. But it's not betrayal, it's balance. And often, the people most upset by your boundaries are the ones who benefited from your lack of them. So if someone says, you've changed, you can gently remind yourself, I've healed. You're allowed to disappoint people who are only comfortable with your compliance. That's not cruelty. That's self-respect. And over time, the more you choose peace over people pleasing, the less guilt you'll feel because your nervous system starts to recognize that peace isn't danger. 5. Self-trust is what makes disappointment survivable. At the root of it all, what makes disappointment hard isn't the other person's reaction. It's our fear of losing love or belonging. But when you build self-trust, when you know, I can handle disapproval and still love myself, something shifts. You stop chasing approval because you already have your own. You stop trying to be understood by everyone because you understand yourself. Self-trust doesn't mean you never feel guilt. It means guilt no longer decides your choices. So here's a bonus truth that I'd like to share with you, and this is the one thing that really helped to set me free. We don't actually fear disappointing others. We fear being abandoned after we do. But what if you trusted that the people meant for you can handle your truth? That their love won't crumble just because you have limits? When you believe that, when you start building relationships rooted in mutual respect instead of silent compliance, you stop performing and start living. Sometimes disappointing others is the most honest way of saying, I'm ready to stop betraying myself. Let's take a moment to take a deep breath together. Disappointing others isn't the end of connection. It's the beginning of authenticity. Today, we talked about how the fear of disappointment comes from old conditioning, how guilt can actually signal growth, and how boundaries protect, not punish, the relationships that are meant to last. Remember, you're not selfish for wanting peace. You're just learning to belong to yourself. If this video resonated with you, do comment below. I'm choosing peace over approval. And remember, you deserve calm, not chaos. Do subscribe for weekly healing insights and emotional tools to help you rebuild your confidence, boundaries, and self-worth. One gentle step at a time.